One of the shows that I've really enjoyed watching over the past couple of decades is called Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern. It was always on the Travel Channel, and admittedly, over the past year, I haven't seen too much of it because I believed it switched networks. I'm just not catching it at the right time. But it was a show that I enjoyed watching a lot. Now, Andrew is a chef that has this seemingly enviable job of traveling all over the world and breaking bread with people of different cultures and seeing what they eat and how they prepare it and what it tastes like. Now, if you're familiar with Andrew, you know what I'm talking about. Most of the stuff it seems like is gross. The reason we tune in is because we want to see how he's going to handle whatever they shove in front of him. Even the people who feed him want to get a reaction. So we're all watching. Andrew's stomach and his palate can take just about anything. And it's really, well, truly bizarre, as the show's title indicates. But there's one food that Andrew will not eat. Do you know what it is? It's walnuts, right? Innocuous walnuts, right? I mean, of all the things that he can't eat, why is it a walnut? Well, I don't really know. Some people might think, well, maybe it's because of an allergy. I don't think so. From everything he said that I can gather, it's just because he hates them. He doesn't like the way they taste. He doesn't like the texture. And it almost seems like he's afraid of them. But here's the thing. Your palate is subjective. There's no right or wrong as to why anybody would like or not like a particular kind of food. Okay? Um, you know, there's no terminal consequence to this. It's not something you really have to worry about. Or is it? Or is it something you have to worry about? Some would claim so. But before I tell you why, let me just ask you, what are some of the foods that you absolutely hate? For me, it's liver, squash, sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower. I hate that stuff. I don't want to be anywhere near it. But there are people, nutritionists and fitness experts in the world, who will tell you that if what you're eating tastes good, it's got to be bad for you. One of the proponents of this was Jack LaLanne. He was the go-to guy for I can't tell you how many years. If you don't know who he is, look him up. But his name is quite familiar to a lot of people. He's passed on now, but he was a small little man, but he was muscular. And he set world records, and he had television shows showing you how to stay in shape, no matter what kind of shape you were already in or how old you were, and he yielded remarkable results. But he was one of these people that said, if it tastes good, don't eat it. Okay? But is that true? Is that true? Is that a judgment that is accurate? So today I want to talk to you about judging accurately, judging rightly, and discovering what the motive is behind your decision making. Is it always true that what we eat, if it tastes good, is bad for us? What if it tastes bad? Does it mean it's good for us? Let's take this beyond the scope of food, beyond the realm of food. I really want this to extend to how we judge anything or even anybody else. All right? Just because something seems favorable and it seems good and we like the way it makes us feel, it could be a thing or a person or even a place. Just if it makes you feel good, if it makes you, if you look at it and it seems good, does it mean it's always good for you? Well, it could be. It very well could be. Let's be honest here. We would just be disingenuous if we had to say that everything that seemed good had to be bad. That's just not right. Common sense tells you that when you're having a conversation like this. But when you get down to brass tacks, living everyday life, and you're in the moment and you have to make a decision, then it doesn't always seem so clear. The real problem with all of this is people in a lot of cases, especially in this age and in our culture, will let feelings trump facts, and they'll judge things and they'll judge other people and they'll make decisions and choose directions in life strictly based upon their feelings. And there are people who will deny themselves any kind of pleasure, any kind of cathartic anything that would help them, anything that would seem good, they'll deny themselves because they say, well, that couldn't be good for me. We all think these people, most of us think these people are kind of weird, right? Because we don't live in it. We try to ride the fence and live in the median, but there are people who are like that, and there are people who will only choose what makes them feel good. And there, you've got to ask yourself before you make a judgment about something, or while you're making a judgment about something, if you're choosing a direction, if you're trying to cultivate a relationship or trying to push someone away, ask yourself, what do you really know? You know, are you are you working off of facts, or are you just compelled by feelings? Because if you are, this is a very immature way to do things. And I say immature, but that's not to imply that only young people do it. I know people from all walks of life, to all different ages, who cannot ever seem to get a grasp on this. They still do this well into their old age. But you have to kind of stand back and ask yourself, why do I feel the way I do about certain things? Why do I look at different people in different ways and make these decisions? Is it truly based on truth? Or is it based on my feelings? You know, um, there's a guy that I knew I worked with some years ago, and he claimed to be a Christian. I say that intentionally. He claimed to be a Christian. Now I'm a Christian myself, so this is a string I feel like I can pluck and speak with some authority about. Okay, so we would sit around in the break room around lunch or break time, and he'd bring up these conversations about talks he'd have with other people about what they believe, and he would kind of gloat. Yes, he would kind of gloat about how other people would get angry with him about the things he was saying. And I told him, I said, I can tell you revel in the idea that somebody's upset with you when you exposit your your beliefs to them. He says, well, yeah, I do enjoy it. I said, but why do you enjoy it? He goes, well, the truth upsets people. The truth makes people angry. Now, we see this today, don't we? People of any given political persuasion, everybody thinks they're right, right? And they'll always say about the other side, well, the truth hurts, doesn't it? Well, that's the way this guy was about his Christianity. And he said, well, the truth upsets people. It makes people angry. I asked him, I said, but is that always true? Right? That makes sense to ask the question. It's just a question. And the reason why I ask it is, I said, because Jesus says the truth sets us free. All right? And he even said he is the truth. Jesus claimed to be the truth. So does that always imply we can associate Jesus with bad feelings? There are people in this world that would say so. Now, this video is not all about Jesus. I'm just making a point here. I'm using that as an illustration. This guy had very immature thinking. He was just basing his conversations and his tack on how he felt and not what he knew. And this is a very dangerous way to do things. So proceed cautiously. Use some wisdom. Let this become a part of your character, all right? A part of your conscience. And ask yourself, how much do you know? And is what you're saying the truth? Eliminate feelings from the whole thing and stand back, get a bird's eye view, and zoom in and try to observe the details intimately of what you're trying to pull the layers back on. See, a lot of people don't even want to get that far because it implies some kind of responsibility. But it is your responsibility, and it's irresponsible to not assume that. Okay? So I hope that's meant something to you. When you judge things, don't use your feelings. I mean, it's kind of hard not to initially, but before you push your ideas onto somebody, ask yourself, uh, how what do I know about them? What do I know about this? And what is the wisest approach to anything? Because like I said, if you're letting facts fall by the wayside, then then you're making a huge mistake. Truth is not subjective. It's not. All right. But a lot of people don't even want to find out what that is. I hope that's helped, guys. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Do me a favor, help me grow this channel simply by sharing it with somebody else. Just share it to Facebook. You don't even have to put a caption on it, and then email it to somebody that needs to hear it. All right. And I do appreciate it. If you like my shirt today, I've got this really cool shirt I'm wearing. This is from Lox and Company. It says "Freedom over Fear," and it's one of my favorite ones to wear. I'll give you a link down below to where you can get this and save yourself a little bit of money, guys. I hope you have a great day, and I hope your life is going well. And I'll see you on the next one. Be wise.